This is Dave again at AFX, talking more about business development for our friends in the private investigative industry, and also even in title abstracting. The one thing to remember as a professional service provider is, on your first call or inquiry from a client, pretend you're not an investigator. Don't try to be an investigator or an abstractor. Don't even try to be a salesperson. When you first talk to that client, what they're looking for right then is a professional counselor or professional advisor. They don't need an investigator yet. They need somebody to analyze their situation and find the best, fastest, most efficient way to resolve their issue or to solve their problem. So you want to be somewhat of a sales consultant, but really you want to be a solution maker. Drop the whole idea of being an investigator at the initial call and be a solution maker. Then become a salesperson and present your solution to the client. And then once that's done, make sure that that deal is closed. Make sure you're not just presenting a solution, you're not just selling and offering a good presentation. Make sure you get it across the finish line, because the greatest presentation, the best solution offered to the client, doesn't get them anything unless they walk away from that meeting of the minds with a completed transaction. You could come up with the best investigative plan for that client, great pricing, they like you as a person, you're a nice guy, gal, you have the best solution for them. Unless you can guide them through that process and actually contract business with them and get a client agreement, that entire process doesn't help the client. In fact, it hurts them, because now they have to start over and discuss it with somebody else. So once you close that deal, then become the investigator and solve their problem. In fact, you may want to have somebody else one person handle the sales and somebody else do the investigating, and vice versa, and trade that off back and forth with different clients. If the client has very specific ideas about how they want the investigation done, like they want surveillance or they want background checks, hold off on that. Maybe that's the answer. Even if you're sure or correct about the approach that they're offering, run through the whole investigative process anyways. Run through their scenario. Find out what they're trying to accomplish. Find out what their goals are, the questions they want answered. Even if it ends up coming right back to what they suggested, that's great. That process will build the relationship. It builds a mutual understanding of what that client is wanting to accomplish and what you are going to provide as a professional. It's going to make a stronger bond with that client. So later on, in that case, if there's additional work that needs to be done or variations of what you're working on, that client will have trust in you because you've taken the time to understand them. The other thing is, don't be afraid to suggest ideas for the client, whether it's an attorney or a private individual, to build their case or to build their strategy around your professional services. For example, if an attorney has some ideas on a case, you might have seen something in prior cases or have an idea where they might be able to be more effective in the courtroom, or your client might be more effective, solving their business problem, whether it's fraud or a Ponzi scheme, who knows what it is. So make sure that you have confidence in what you're doing. Don't let the tail wag the dog. Be confident in yourself to suggest ideas, suggest new investigative relationship ideas, so that client can get the most from what you have to offer. And when it comes to selling, look, sell like their life depends on it, not just yours. Sell and close those deals like their success is at stake, because in reality it is. If you believe in your business, if you don't sell something to a client, not only did you lose out on not having that client and that income and that opportunity to do what you really love as an investigator, your client also lost out, because they have a need that they wanted to resolve and meet that need, and it's still not resolved. You didn't close that deal. You're not there to help them. And if you believe you're the best, even if they go somewhere else and eventually buy an investigative package or service somewhere else, they're going to be dealing with somebody who's less than the best. If you feel like you're the best, they're going to be dealing with less than the best, and that's a disservice to that client. Worst case scenario, they may never hook up with an investigator to get their case done, which is even worse, because now they have no solution, not even a mediocre solution. If you have the best solution, make sure you close that deal. Sell like their life depends on it. Sell like their success depends on it, not only yours, and great things will follow.